Okay, so every time I'm doing the gaming performance testing on the new Mac generations, I always feel like it wasn't a big jump or kind of gets satisfying enough. Like it's take you from the M1 Pro to the M3 Pro to get you like 10 more extra FPS. It doesn't seem worth the upgrade. But this time, this Mac Mini M4 got me surprised by how well it can handle games. So in the past 7 days, I've been testing different variety of games. Mac native, Windows, mobiles, and even some retro console game. So if you're planning to buy Mac Mini for gaming, this video is for you. Let's get started. I like to start with game design directly with macOS because it's optimized to take the full advantage of the Mac software and hardware. And the term that we have heard a lot from Apple is the technology called
hardware-accelerated ray tracing engine in the M4 family GPU, and games like Control, with its ray-traced effects, look way more compelling.
But here are some problems with ray tracing on this Mac Mini. First, there is very limited games that support this technology. I found some games from the App Store, but they are mostly adventure games with incredibly high price. Even if it's supported, doesn't mean it has a good performance. You can only get under 20 FPS and frequently experience with latency while playing. So don't get overexcited with ray tracings. I think now it's only work on the Apple advertisement. And if you put ray tracing on the side, actually there are some Steam native macOS game work pretty awesome. I tried War Thunder with medium graphics settings at 2K resolution and I got pretty good FPS ranging from 60 to 70 FPS. This is very playable games and I didn't notice any lagging or delay while playing. Also Baldur's Gate 3, which is one of the popular native games that runs stable at 70 FPS with medium graphics settings on 1080p. I think this performance is pretty fair considering this is the base M4 models. So if you like to explore even more games, we cannot miss our Windows game, right? Because you know Mac's native game is very limited. So let's try some Windows games on this Mac Mini. Thanks to the game porting toolkit too, DX11 and DX12 Windows games will be able to play on this Mac using Metal, which is a native Apple graphic API. You can install Windows games using Crossover, and I will show you how to do that. To install Crossover, follow the link in the descriptions and click on Try Now to start your free trial. Or you can buy it and using my code for extra 10% off of your order. And once the file is downloaded, double-click to the DMG file to finish the installations. The next step, we'll need to implement the game porting toolkit 2 into Crossover to get a better gaming performance. You can download game porting toolkit 2 following the link in the descriptions. From the More Download page, click on Game Porting Toolkit 2 Beta 3 to download. And when the file is ready, open it up and in the pop-up windows, double-click on Evaluation Environment for Windows Games to create a virtual disk on your Mac. Now let's implement Game Porting Toolkit 2 by scrolling down and selecting the second disk. Follow the path shown on the screen and copy both files inside the external folder. Next, go to the application folders and find the Crossover applications. Right-click and select Show Package Content. Now follow the path on the screen and override two files to apply Game Porting Toolkit 2 to your Crossover. Make sure you close Crossover before this method to ensure it works successfully. So every time I do Windows game performance testing, I always do the same game just to see how it gets improved over the years. And this time, one of the things that surprised me was this base M4 can now run GTA 5 at 5K smoothly with medium graphics settings. Even during a fast-paced moment when the game required quick compiling and rendering, I didn't notice any lagging or latency while playing. We get pretty decent FPS from 35 to 40, but look at this, everything performed super well, and if there was no Metal Hub, I didn't think there was 35 FPS. Next, we have Cyberpunk 2077, which also runs stably from 30 to 40 FPS at 1440p with medium graphic settings. This is the best setting you could play with this game or get the better frame rate at a lower setting. But for me, I have no issue with this game. It's very playable and also it will be run natively on macOS in the early 2025. So definitely give it a try when it's released. One thing that people don't talk about much when it comes to Mac gaming is how fun it is to play mobile games directly from your Mac. It's actually a pretty awesome experience. So to play Windows games from your Mac, you will need a translation layers like crossover I mentioned. But for mobile games, you will need an Android emulators, and the best one that run natively on macOS and is compatible with variety of games is MuMuPlayer Pro. And here's how you can install it. Click on the link in the video descriptions and then click on try free. Once the file is downloaded, double click on the icons and it should install automatically. Some of the popular titles that run perfectly on MuMuPlayer Pro like Fortnite or Pubg, you could get up to 60 FPS with high graphics settings, experience a smooth gameplay in 4K resolution without latency. And the best thing I like about this emulator is it supports not only keyboard but a controller, which enhancing the gaming experience. MuMuPlayer Pro now supported in many different languages, so make sure to give it a try. Now if you like retro game on your old console like Nintendo or Wii, you can now also play on this Mac Mini and I will show you how. You need to using a free console emulator named Dolphin. You can download following the link in the description again and select the latest versions from the release or development section. For me, I always download the latest versions from the development sections. So once you got the file, just drag it into the application folders and everything is on set. Now before we can game on this console emulator, let's go ahead to tweak some settings. Firstly, head over to the graphic configurations and on the back end, make sure you select metals. Also enabling VSync and start in full screen options. Now moving to the enhancement section on the internal resolution, Dolphin gives you the option to upscale the game resolution up to 8K, but I personally recommend you to select 3 times, which is 1080p to make it compatible with most of the game. And to make game run smoother, set anti-aliasing and texture filtering at 2x. The last step is mapping your controller. So click on controller settings, select standard controller on port 1 and click on configure. Now if you already connected your controller to your Mac Mini, it should show in this drop-down menu. So select that and start mapping your controller by selecting each key on the screen and on your controller at the same time. Now everything is all set. On the Dolphin dashboard, double click to import some console games. And with that, you are ready to play. I've tried 3 basic console games which are Star Wars, NBA Street and NFL Street. They are all run incredibly smooth at 60 FPS on this Mac Mini. Very playable, and so far I did not notice any delay or lagging during playing, which is great. These games are released a long time ago, but it's always give a different feelings when played. If you are into retro console game, go ahead and try with Dolphin. It is free and very user-friendly console emulator. So to condense the whole thing, this Mac Mini M4 is great for gaming, but please people, don't compare this one to a Windows gaming machines which is the same price. People don't buy the Mac Mini M4 just for gaming, right? There's a lot of things behind like productivities or creative work that run incredibly fast on these machines, which I'll make another video just for that. But again, with the price, the design, everything with the Apple ecosystem, this is the best thing you could get at that moment. So don't forget to apply the 10% off when you check out crossover. And I hope this is helpful and I'll see you in the next video. Also, you can check this video where I share my full review about this Mac Mini if you have time. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Goodbye.